In this episode, we're going to be talking about the hidden cost of drifting. Men don't fail because they've drifted one time. We fail or find ourselves completely on the other side of the world from where we thought we would be because of our inability to correct when we do start drifting. And you can think of drifting like the old story we learned when we were growing up in school. At least this is what I learned when I was in school. The story goes, I don't know how true or accurate this is now, understanding what we were told about history and how history is written. But what I was told when I was growing up was that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, traversed the world, and ended up wanting to find India. And he didn't. He landed in so many other places, and none of them were actually mapped India. So when he landed, thought he did it, and he named a bunch of the natives Indians. It's how the story goes. How true that is or not, you guys can let me know. I'm not going to take my time to figure that out, but that's how the story goes. And I think that's applicable to us. Drift is a dangerous state for a man because when you land on something, you might name it what it isn't. You might think you've landed on a spot. It's not the thing you were going for, but you name it that anyway, and it creates this whole chasm of dysfunction, ill patterns, breakdown, lies that eventually perpetuate into a whole lot of stuff you don't want in your life. And so that's really what drift is. If a man is drifting, he's going to end up somewhere he's not supposed to be. So the drift is not watching porn. The drift is not sitting in isolation. The drift is not speaking negatively about yourself or thinking you're worthless. The drift is not stepping out on your wife. The drift is not lying perpetually. That's not the drift. That's the landing point you got to because you've been drifting. I hope you get me on that. The result, the action that you do at the magnitude that you do it is not, that one thing is not the drift. It is the cost of you not correcting when you begin to drift. A ship is, when it gets in the ocean, a ship, if it points itself in a direction or set, engine going, whatever kind of maritime vehicle you're on, and it goes straight and it sees that point, if it does not correct as it moves, it will not hit that point. Just the nature of it, because the ocean is moving, wind, waves, all that, right? But if there is constant correction as you go and you understand how to do that, you will be able to hit that target each and every time. But what we don't do is we do not correct that drift when it happens, so we end up off target. Instead of ending up on an island full of healthy relationships, a great identity, pursuit and progress of a worthy ideal, deep love and emotional states, both with the people you love, your spouse, your girlfriend, with yourself, with God. Instead, you land on an island of regret, remorse, shame, broken cycles, isolation, all the ill, gross, seemingly unsatisfactory things. You land on the island of isolation and regret. Let's call it that. So which way do you want to go? You have to correct the drift, and that is the hidden cost of drifting. Because like I said, the drifting is pride, thinking I deserve something that I haven't worked for, thinking that, in two senses of the word, so I won't even move on. You think you deserve something you haven't worked for, and you don't deserve that which was already given to you and paid for. Jesus Christ's saving of us. The first one is understanding that Jesus Christ already paid a price, so you get to accept that because it is a gift already paid for. You don't have to pay for a gift. That's what makes it a gift. It's already been paid for. Everything already everything costs something, and gifts are already paid for by the person giving it to you. So you don't, it's two ways of deserving. You don't receive that which is given to you as a gift because it's already been paid in full, or you don't, you think you deserve something you haven't worked to acquire. You want that thing because there hasn't been payment for it. That's called theft. There hasn't been a payment for the thing that you think you deserve. Another aspect of that is working, like the drift is, I have a desire, but it is, instead of working towards something, I'm going to think, I'm gonna, right. The, yeah, so deserve. And then the other part of it is, another way to drift is being around the wrong people or speaking negatively or bitterly about people. The way life and death is in the power of tongue. So you have to really be conscious of how you see someone, how you navigate a conversation. Drifting is entitlement, it's being prideful, it's insecurity, it's shameful thoughts and actions. Those things are perpetuating the action. You landing on the island of shame and isolation is the cost of the drift. And so we don't want to do that. One way, that's all fine and dandy. How do I actually stop from drifting? Great question. That's why we built the resurgence method. The 5 things that we do for that method that has proven over time to actually get you to hit that island, actually hit India, and be able to call Indians Indians because they're from India. Rather, you have 5 things. In the resistance community, by utilizing our method, we actually stop people from drifting, where we show you how to course correct faster, and you have to be a person to course correct faster. You have to be somebody to recognize and get into the word and read what the Bible says and how you should operate as a man. It would benefit you to look at the world after taking a beat, after taking a moment and going, is this actually the truth? Or is this just a portion of the scenario that I'm aware of? And so it seems a certain way, but it's actually not. There's a picture, there's like a meme that went out, and it showed perception as far as watching TV and reality. And the full picture was someone reaching out with whatever tool they had in their hand as they were falling, and the other person catching themselves to react to save that person. But the TV, the very small view of the screen, showed that it looked like there was somebody who was attacking this person and this person was falling back. So how are you operating and how are you seeing the world? Are you seeing it from this small lens in your perception and your own hidden cycles of thoughts and belief systems? Or are you actually taking a step back and looking at the world and going, oh, this is actually what it is. I can respond in a really healthy way because I have the full picture. That is how you course correct it and stop the drift. So I'll tell you, there's 3 ways to course correct well, so that way you are actually moving toward the target you're supposed to sail toward and not land on the island of shame and isolation. Number 1, belief system. If you've been in personal development, or if you've been in the word at any point for a certain amount of time, you're going to hear belief system. Now, that doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to have a perfect understanding of who you are and how you're wired to be. What that means is you're developing a system of beliefs that continues to stand firm no matter the thing you're supposed to respond to and the situation you're presented, whether that's internally or externally. So your belief system is that you are the captain of your ship, the captain of your life. You have to understand that who you are very much is going to allow you to confidently make decisions in a timely manner. The captain of the ship doesn't think he's a slum potato peeler, but he's got the hat and the uniform on. The captain has to understand that he is in charge of all these people. He can and will make the right decision based on his work and work ethic and preparedness and understanding of oceans and people and the vessel that he's running, all that. Your belief system has to be solidified. Number 2, You have to understand that there is a bigger perspective that you don't understand, aka humility, that you don't know it all. So a part of your belief system is that humility is a part of it. You need to gather more intel. You need to understand more of the situation. You have to recognize what's really going on in that moment by taking a step back, looking at the entire thing. The way that I look at that typically is there was like a meme or a picture of like the perception rather than reality. The reality of the story is that a person was falling and another person was attempting to save them. Both of them were holding something in their hand, and it happened so fast, and this person was trying to save this other person from falling. But when you put it on a screen and the people who were filming it put it in a certain angle, it looked like the attacker was the person saving the person falling. It looked like that person falling was being attacked by the person actually saving them. And so perception is not reality. Perspective gives you a much better vantage point. You have to be able to understand that you are humble enough to not know the entire scenario right off the bat and you can't react. You have to get the full picture. You can get that very fast. You can get to that decision very quickly as long as you continue, as long as you have all of the information available within that situation, or as much as you need in order to make a viable, humble, authoritative decision. Okay. Humility, number 2. And then number 3 is your accountability in your team. Everyone's going to say it, right? Life is not a one-person sport. If you expect to get to the island that you're supposed to, the destination you're trying to get to, if you're trying to get to the island of acceptance, acknowledgement, productivity, health, joy, happiness, fulfillment, as a man, purpose and fulfillment, the island of purpose and fulfillment, then you have to have people around you. Captains do not captain a ship. They don't run a ship on their own. They have second in commands, third in commands. They have people on the panel. The funny analogy that comes to mind is Star Trek, right? We had Captain Kirk, but then we had a whole lot of people that he directed who were skilled in other areas he wasn't, and that he allowed to make decisions based on his team, and they were able to get to the destination and get out of trouble or save as many people as they could on all of their missions because of that. A captain of a ship has guys that he trusts and executes and delegates to allow that ship, that vessel, to sail to the destination that he's supposed to. For fulfillment and purpose, you have to have people coming to you that you trust, that will give you the truth, that will show you what you do not see, will provide you with intel that you could not get because of their relationships, their experience, their exposure, their skill set. And then when they bring it to you guys, work together and move toward that destination and course correct very quickly. Most times in movies, when you see a captain, he's standing looking out and there's someone that brought something to him that he was not aware of, but would have been detrimental to the voyage or to the vessel or both. And he had to make a split decision, but he would not have been able to unless that second in command he trusted came to him with intel and they were able to work it out together. You become a man that you want to be because you are able to course correct when you recognize the drift. But you won't be able to drift or correct. You won't be able to correct the drift with enough time or even recognize you're drifting without proper belief system, without humility, and without the right people around you. That's it for this video. I hope to see you in the resistance and hope this encouraged you, acknowledged, affirmed, and empowers you to continue to be the man that God designed you to be. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.